How are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic time. So let's get started on Holy Apricot right away. I'm going to be telling you a story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about Pelé. Pelé is arguably the greatest footballer ever. Okay, now you might disagree with me, but okay, that's not the essence of today's conversation. He's an amazing footballer, you'd have to admit. Now, Pelé in the 70s was playing football for Brazil. He was in the national team. Pelé was extremely good. He was so gifted as a footballer. Growing up, he would play football on the street with his guys. He would play with mango, play with oranges, and whatever he played with, Pelé was extremely good. He was so gifted that he was enlisted into the national team at a very young age, before he was 17. But there was this little issue. Now, Pelé was playing the traditional Brazilian football, the one they played on the street, the one they played in their markets, the one they played in their local schools. However, the national team did not want to play local football. They wanted to play like the Europeans. So his coach and every other person all around the world constantly said, Pelé, if you're going to win the World Cup, if you're going to do well at the World Cup, you have to play professional European football. You have to play like Italians, like Spanish, like English and all that, like Netherlands. You cannot come and play this local Brazilian football and think you're going to be successful at it. So Pelé tried to start learning to play like the Europeans. So he dropped his traditional football, ginger kind of football it was called then, and he started to try to learn how to, bend the ball like the Europeans, but it was very difficult for Pelé. So they went to the World Cup, and Pelé was a young footballer, so he was sitting on the bench most of the time, meaning he was not being used by his coach. However, their favorite star got injured, so Pelé was put into the field. Pelé tried to play the European football, but it wasn't working. They were defeating Brazil. Nothing was working for Brazil. So Pelé just made up his mind that he was going to be his original self. He was going to play the kind of football his own heart wanted to play. He was going to play to the rhythm of his heart, not to the opinion of others. So Pelé, right in the middle of the whole world, started to play like he played in the field with his guys on the street. He played football on the national stage like he played on the road to the market when his mother sent him to go and buy stuffs. He played football on the national stage like he played in the public park in Brazil. And when Pelé started to play the kind of football that was his own, the kind of football that was traditionally Brazilian, when he started to play the kind of football that only Brazilians could play, the Europeans were confused. And guess what? Brazil won the World Cup. And that Pelé's kind of football became popularly known as samba. And everybody, the whole world, fell in love with samba football. But if Pelé never made that decision to say, I'm not going to follow what everybody's saying. I'm not going to try to play football like the Europeans. I'm going to play my own traditional game. I'm going to play like a Brazilian, not like an Italian. I'm going to play like Pelé. He would never have become the Pelé the whole world knows him as today. My dear, Pelé went ahead and won 3 World Cups for Brazil, playing not like an Italian, playing not like an Englishman, playing not like a Spanish man, but as a Brazilian, as Pelé. He discovered his own rhythm, and by discovering his own personal rhythm, he became a superstar. Now, I'm telling you this story to say this to you. Until you discover your rhythm and are courageous enough to do your own thing in your own God-ordained way, you will keep on struggling. Stop struggling. Stop trying to be like somebody else. There's something unique in you that God put in you that no one else has. Until you begin to respect that gift you have and give it your best, you keep on struggling. So discover your rhythm today. Stay true to it and watch the world come to you